Welcome to the Coach's Show here with head coach Eugene Rogers. I'm Rusty Hitt along with Coach. And Coach coming in off of a game that you played really hard, had a chance for most of that game to get a win. Your defense played really solid against Mesquite Poteet, and I think they only gave up 16 points in the game, and really a lot of those were set up on some turnovers. So they really fought hard and played a really good ball game, I thought.
Yeah, they did. We went into the game with the expectation to win the football game, yeah. And the kids played extremely hard for 3 quarters, and we're just at that point to where we got to put 4 together, yeah. And we're going to continue to diligently work to put 4 quarters together, and we're just expecting it for it to be this week.
Well, it's certainly a good opportunity, I think, for you this week. You guys you've played 3 district games. You've been in every district game. You've had a lead last week. You got to Crandall. You got it down to 4, and a team that's really better than anybody probably knew coming into the season. And as Terrell as well. I mean, you're right there in that game. And so, again, it's just a matter of finishing the ball game and having the ability to and the depth, I think, really to get through 4 quarters and be there at the end instead of middle of the third. So
yeah, I'm just trying to get the guys in the community and everybody to understand that we can do it when we put our minds to it, and we just gotta, we gotta be able to do it, play in and play out, and just do it consistently. Yeah. We can do it, but we just have lapses and we lose focus in those games that we fell short. We just got to be consistent at what we do and how we do it.
Well, and I think, really a lot of that comes down to, last week, you go into offensively, I thought, you gave up the pick 6 right off the bat, but the next drive was maybe your best drive of the season. I think you completed a key pass there. You were getting 7-8 yards on first down in great down and distance situations, mm-hmm. to go down and score and get that game tied up. It was really everything you wanted to see, right?
Yes, and the kids performed well. They did what that coaches asked them to do on each play, and again, we're just trying to get that consistency offensively on every drive, and that's what we're looking for, the consistency of doing what you're asked to do on every play.
Well, you're playing your quarterback. He's only a sophomore, and he's learning a lot. He's getting a lot of valuable experience this year under fire, and you see what's going on there. But you've had some opportunities where you've had some negative plays, whether they be the turnovers that we've seen a couple times last game, or in the situations where, losses on plays where mm-hmm. you get it, one first down, you get a good 5 or 6 yard gain, and then, then you're tackled in the backfield. And those, it's hard to overcome those things for a young team, still trying to find its way offensively.
Right. And again, I'll just continue to repeat myself. We have those lapses, and that's because of we are a young team. We have a sophomore quarterback that should be playing JV, and he's doing those JV mistakes, yeah. And things like that would happen in a JV game. But now it's magnified. We're on the varsity stage, and it is what it is. And but he's going to continue to get better each week and be consistent at what we do, and that's what we're striving for.
Well, he's had some really good flashes. I mean, he's shown the ability to make some really pretty throws. He threw a couple of corner routes to Ruiz for touchdowns. He's done a really good job in certain areas getting the ball out. But again, it's just that, as you say, the consistency and adapting to that speed of a varsity game.
I think it's just been a sophomore.
Yep, it happens.
It's just been simply a sophomore, and his his ability level right now and varsity speed, and we're just hoping that, these last 4 games that he'll get up to speed and start to figure it out and compete at the varsity level and know the speed of the game and be able to adjust and move forward.
Well, it's obviously it's not one player
Right.
on a team. I mean, you've got in football as much as anything, it's a unit, right? If the offense, there's one player in the offensive line that breaks down, it's a negative play. So it's really incumbent on the whole team for the receivers to run the right routes, to catch the balls, all those kind of things. It really shows up, for in that kind of setting with an offense, because it does take all 11 most of the time to have good drives down the field.
It takes all 11 and 12 being the coaching staff, and I'm not one that's gonna make excuses or anything like that. We're just gonna continue to put our foot forward and work on the things to bring success to the individuals in their positions, and as a unit, we're gonna continue to game plan for success and put our best foot forward out there and give them an opportunity to perform, and they get a chance to get that game time experience. And we're just gonna see where the ball bounces and where we go, and from there.
Well, your defense, like I said, is done a good job of giving you that chance. I think you forced 9 punts, something like that last week in the game, and really did a good job getting off the field and putting you in a situation that to have a chance to score points. And I think you were down 9-7 going into half, and you get the opening kickoff, and Damon Brown, another big play from him. He's pretty good at that, and gets you staked to a lead right there, and all the excitement's going in your direction right then.
Yeah, and we held them off to the third, and again, defensively, I'm proud of the kids, the fight that they had, and executing the game plan that we put forth, and trusting in what we did and what we called, and them trusting in what they see, and they did it, and they played hard. But when you continue to have turnovers after turnovers, and we have to learn how to go back out there and play defense regardless of where the ball is, and make stops. And one of our goals is 0 or 3. We want to kick a field goal, but we don't want touchdowns. Yep. And I'm not pleased with giving up to 16 points. We had expectations to go in there and shut them out, and we didn't do that. And we're going to go back to the drawing board, and next opportunity, which is game time, is we're going to try to accomplish those goals.
Well, I thought there were some guys that had good games for you, especially on the defensive side. Montre Bush seemed to be very active in the game. Jaden Jones looked like a game. Jerry Escamilla moving back to linebacker. He was really all over the place. He's adapted pretty well to having to do it out of emergency, and he's really taken that on, and looked like he was giving you a good job there, filling those holes.
Yeah, I'm proud of those guys, those seniors. Those guys have been the rocks of our defense and of our team. They've been at every practice, and they have demonstrated what a senior should do. I'm proud of them, for Jaden, for hanging in there and doing a great job on the field, and being present for practice and things like that. Escamilla being able to go from defensive end to linebacker and play it at a high level. I'm proud of him and what he's done, and not giving up.
Well, I mean, I know it's something to talk about Greenville a little bit. They're struggling. They haven't won a game. So what have you seen when you're watching the tape about how you're going to attack them, what you see might be some things and some ways that might work out for you?
Here's the deal. in preparing for Greenville, and I was just telling somebody this a few minutes ago, but overall, scheme-wise, they are the toughest that I've had to this point.
Really?
And Crandall was the easiest. But I say that to say this. Crandall had the athletes that could do just basic things. Greenville, they do a great job. They scheme-wise, they have a very difficult scheme. They have some option in there. They have some inside zone. They have some outside zone. When they get on the hash, they'll have bunch sets, and they try to do crossing routes and things like that. But what we've done this week, I broke it into categories. We've had pods, different holes to work on stopping certain plays and certain formations and things that they like to do out of that. And our kids have done a great job of recognizing the formations and expecting the plays that they're going to see. So we have continued to put them in a situation to be successful and to stop what they do. So I expect our kids to be sharp, and when they see the formation and the plays start to unfold, get where they're supposed to be so that they can stop that play.
Well, I think, your defense has shown it is capable of winning a game for you, at least keeping the other team the score down so you can. What about offensively? Have you seen, when you're looking at Greenville's defense, is there anything in particular that you feel like you can exploit, or you just need to go execute your offense?
Well, number one is we have to execute at a high level. But number two, watching them on film, they give you a lot of bubbles because they have a three-man front and they play off. So we should be able to attack those bubbled areas.
I thought you did a good job of that early in the game the other day, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we should be able to attack those areas, and again, we should be able to run the football. Yeah. They have only 3 men on the line, so if they stick to that, you should see our offense excel tonight.
Well, looking forward to that for sure. Now, I know this is half a year in to being here, maybe, and so there's a lot of steps along the way in the process that you're trying to take, and I know it can be frustrating not to see the results on the field, but I know as a coach, it's about sometimes what you see behind the scenes, in practice, in the locker room. How do you feel like you see some of your players are taking those kind of steps?
I would say I'm very proud of this senior class that these guys have demonstrated that they want to win, and they're doing what it takes. And they're being great leaders. They're present. They're here. I want guys here. I want them working hard and doing what we ask them to do. And I'm proud of our seniors for doing that in this short amount of time. And I appreciate them for being here and being accountable.
That can be tough with a senior class. Now, you look at these seniors, you're the third head coach that they've dealt with. I mean, we talked about, the need, Richie and I talked about at the end of the game, stability. Programs need stability. They need to know what can be expected. And to be able to get that through to these seniors in such a short time, I think that's a pretty good accomplishment. And hopefully they'll step up and be that example for the freshmen and the sophomores that you've got coming up, because you are playing a ton of sophomores at the varsity level. Yeah,
I told them this. When I signed on to be the head football coach at Corsicana, they're mine. They're not the former coaches. They're mine. They're my kids, and I take ownership of what they do moving forward. And it's not an excuse. I'm not ever going to say, well, you were so-and-so's kids and you're doing this. No, it don't work like that. Those are my kids, and they're mine, and I love them, and I'm going to love them regardless of the score. And, moving forward, they understand that I care for them and I love them. And I think that's one of the reasons they have adopted to me, and they know that I love them and care for them.
Well, and again, as a kid, you know, as a player, that's what you want your coach to do, is to embrace you. And if they can feel that will begin to take hold in the program. And if you can get that across to a group of seniors who have struggled, quite frankly, and they're trying to latch on to something, and if you give them that anchor, you know, they will give that down to these other kids, and they'll see that, and you know, the program's going to continue to build.
Yeah, from experience, all it's going to do is just help the program when you embrace the seniors, because they can hurt you more than they help you, and this will be in the springtime. So I want them to continue to be leaders and help this program and move forward, and that's how they can help the legacy of this program by doing what we ask them to do, and the other kids, the younger kids, see that, and then they can be the group that start the legacy of change and doing things right.
Well, we've been climbing that mountain, climbing this hill in these games, and getting to the hill, getting to the top. Just hadn't been able to get over it here in the last few days. Getting close. Every game you get a little closer, and I think tonight we'll see that all pay off for you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Eugene Rogers, head coach of the Corsicana Tigers. We'll be back with more of the pregame show after this.